Mike Tannenbaum, the Browns should start whom at quarterback?
Shedeur Sanders. What are we doing? Tell me a quarterback that's played 19 games in 6 years, who tore his Achilles tendon twice to come back and play a full season. Let's go with Shedeur. Let's see what we have there. We also have Dylan Gabriel and Taylor Green that I'd love to see what we have there. By the way, Deshaun Watson is also a free agent at the end of the year. Move on, cut your losses.
Yeah, give Shedeur the chance. Wherever he's watching from right now, Mel Kiper is applauding. Andrew Hawkins.
For sure.
Fill in a blank. The Josh Allen, DJ Moore combination will be what?
Super Bowl caliber. He finally got the #1 receiver since Stephon Diggs left. I think they got him at the perfect time. And if you watch early on, again, I'm basing this heavily on the fact that he has a professionalism that Josh Allen can depend on. He can separate, he can get down the field, it right sizes everybody else. He should have the weapons that he needs to get over the hump.
Okay, I like it. DJ Moore, former Bear, former Panther, now a Bill. Last one, Lewis. Did you see this? You know, the players rank the other players in the league. Yeah. They voted Patrick Mahomes the 18th best player in football. That, in your mind, is what?
It's disrespectful. It's a joke. Look, I think they also ranked Lamar Jackson, in the 60s, right?
In the 60s.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. We understand just how dependent this position is. We understand what Patrick brings to the table, what he has already brought to the table, what he's already accomplished, what he's coming off of, the kind of things that maybe that broken down around him. I think this year you're going to see him again ascend in a different way. You're going to see his game evolve. I mean, you know he's not the 18th best player in the NFL. I mean, come on.
So you chose disrespectful. Yeah. I'm going to channel my inner Stephen A. Smith, and I'm going to say the correct word is blasphemous. Yeah. Blasphemy is what this is. Here's the bottom line of it, okay? What exactly is it they're asking the players? If what you're asking the players is rank the players who's playing the best in the last 10 minutes, then okay. Then maybe Patrick Mahomes wasn't the best player in football last year. But if you're asking them, who's the best player in the league? Who's the guy that if you were starting a team right now, you would take #1? Anyone who didn't say Patrick Mahomes should be immediately ejected from the conversation. Patrick Mahomes is not only the best player in the league right now, but he has already ascended to a category that none of the other current quarterbacks have. And that includes Matthew Stafford, as good as he has been, and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and anyone else you want to put in the conversation. Patrick Mahomes is already amongst the immortals, and he's still in the first half of his career. If you're starting a team today, Mike Tannenbaum, how many players are you taking ahead of Patrick Mahomes? Spoiler alert, the answer is none.
But that's not the question, and let me push back. If we're being ruthlessly dogmatic on how they played last year, I love Patrick Mahomes, first ballot Hall of Famer. But, Greeny, the way he played last year, he was not a great quarterback, and that was before he got hurt. He had one touchdown pass where the ball traveled over 20 yards. They were not explosive, not all his fault. So I understand why he was ranked there. If this is about starting a franchise, no conversation. But if we're being objective on how he played last year, that's about right.
Hawk?
Yeah, I'm with Mike. I think the pieces around you vastly dictate how everyone sees you. The reality is they weren't scared of the Chiefs a year ago because they didn't have the receivers. Their offense wasn't as good. And so they were a team that didn't make the playoffs. Matt Stafford would never be as highly ranked as he is now had he not left Detroit and gone to the Los Angeles Rams. That's the reality for him, even though we agree Mahomes, quarterback #1, he's on his way to possibly battling Brady for best all time. But it is a what have you done for me lately kind of league.
One season ago, they lost one game and went to their third consecutive Super Bowl. What are we talking about here? How quickly does the world move that we have moved on from Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes, who, by the way, the roster has fallen completely apart around him. Yeah. Who is he throwing to for Christ? He's throwing to guys I've never even heard of half the week.
You know what? We consistently move goalposts.
We're moving the goalposts.
We consistently do this because, look, a lot of times what winds up happening when we discuss quarterbacks in particular, what's the #1 thing we judge them off of? We judge them off of Super Bowls and wins, right? Even if they have tremendous statistics, and then we have quarterbacks, right? So like the Jordan Love discussion. I've heard this Jordan Love discussion coming up about whether or not he should be considered one of the elite quarterbacks. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, last year, Jordan Love, when he went to Chicago, he basically was killing Chicago. They can't make field goals. They give up all kinds of explosive plays. They have drop passes in crucial situations. And yet we're saying, well, Jordan Love isn't elite because, look, he didn't win the game. He didn't win the game. He can't win the game by himself. Patrick Mahomes hasn't fallen off. A lot of things have fallen off around him. But if you give him the kind of weaponry and the kind of support that he needs, he's the best player in the league.
But the question is, how did he play last year?
Well, is that the question?
Is that the question?
If that's the question, then it's a pointless question, right? There's nothing interesting about the answer to that
I'm not
question.
the question writer here,
The
guys.
question is, who's the best player in the league?
Last year, if you're being completely objective, I give the players credit. Like, that's pro football. Lou Hawk knows that. You go by what you see, and Greeny, they were not good last year on offense.
They were not good last year on offense. I completely agree.
Right, so when you're the quarterback, you're going to get the blame and the credit, whether it's fair or unfair. They were an average offense last year.
But you know what, though, Mike? It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be the quarterbacks get the blame or the credit, whether it's fair or not. You mean whether it's truthful or not. It's not just – football isn't just a singular game. It's a very dependent game. It's a very interconnected game, and we know that.
But to Hawks'
we
point,
know
Lou,
that.
To Hawks' point, Lou, does that mean that Matt Stafford in Detroit was being fairly evaluated as well then?
I mean,
no, but you know what? There are plenty of people who
player on a bad team.
He was an excellent player in Detroit.
Awful last year. Patrick Mahomes just has set a standard for himself that is so ridiculously high. He makes one play every single week that no one in history has ever made before. Hawk, give me a final word. Go.
I'm with you. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best, if not the best player. Every year we do this list. But the reality is the players are voting based on what they experienced the year before. Lamar Jackson at number 69 is even more egregious than Mahomes at 18 to me. So I guess I agree with everyone, but I'm also not surprised based on at 69, Lamar Jackson is sitting there as almost out of the top 100.
That's a great comment. Yeah. We're vehemently disagreeing, and he agrees with everyone. Coming up yesterday, including Raiders and Texans. The Texans have that obviously great defense. During that practice, we saw Fernando Mendoza getting extensive first-team reps against the Texans, one of the best defenses in football. First time the number one pick got to work with the starters in any session. And here was Mendoza, typically upbeat on how that practice went.
We go against our defense, which is fantastic, and it's a top defense every single day, and then now be able to go against the Texans defense, which is also a top defense in the league, go against them, be able to get some reps with the ones against the superstars on their defense, and then obviously their twos are fantastic as well. We got so much work, whether it was move the ball, first down, third down, red zone, 2 minute. There were so many situations, and I believe overall it was a positive day. There were plays that I loved and plays that I wish I had back. But in reality, that's a lie. I wish I didn't have them back because it's a growing experience, and it's practice. It's practice, and this is what I love. And it's just a beautiful day to play football here, and I'm so happy of so many things to learn from today.
How do you not love this kid? I mean, just keep playing that. Or, Cindy, run that over and over again. I'll watch it all day long.
He makes you feel like you're underachieving in life, man.
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. Everything we got wrong, I wouldn't take it back because it's just all part of learning, which is great. And Hawk joins us here. We got the technology working, but just quick. Mike, you're the GM. What are you looking for in him? You put him out there against a good defense. First time he's with the ones. What are you watching?
I'm looking for poise and control in and out of the huddle. Like, are you the battlefield commander of this team? Are the 10 other guys in the huddle believe that you know what to do on the every time you have the ball? And going against Will Anderson and Donnell Hunter, even though it's non-contact, this is really good work for him, and he's stacking one good day on top of the next.
So, Hawk, now you're his teammate. And we know they brought in Kirk Cousins, and the plan is for him to start, and we'll see what happens. This isn't a team that people have very high expectations for. When do you, as a receiver, want to see the rookie, the number one pick, get on the field?
As soon as possible. If I'm looking at that interview and it's any indicator of how he operates in the locker room, he's clearly a leader. He's clearly wise beyond his years. And when you watch him on the football field, as long as it's not a safety issue where you don't trust your offensive line or protection of a young asset, or he's not a professional yet. Listen, I came in with Johnny Manziel, who had ability, but it was very clear he wasn't ready to be a starting NFL quarterback at any point in that first season. With Mendoza, you don't feel that. He is not a guy that you have to teach the position to. He is not a guy that lacks professionalism. And if you don't have a safety issue, once he gets a hold of the operation of the offense, I think you put him out there. You let him learn by fire. You let him understand the speed of the game and all the things that come along with it. Otherwise, you're just prolonging the inevitable. I know the Patrick Mahomes, blueprint was amazing, and it bore so many fruits for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not 100% sold that he still wasn't ready to be the quarterback as a rookie based on everything we see from Mahomes. So I think every situation is different.
There's no question that Patrick was ready to be the quarterback when he was a rookie. And Kansas City had to sit on their hands. They knew what they had in the first minicamp. But the fact of the matter is this, though. Like Alex Smith was playing great. He had a career year that year. If Kirk Cousins is playing good and the team is winning, then they have the luxury then of sitting and waiting and allowing him to kind of continue to develop. I think all this is going to be contingent upon how the team is doing and how Kirk is playing. If the team is struggling and Kirk isn't playing well, you're going to see him faster. If the team's playing good, Kirk's playing well, he's not turning the football over, they're being efficient, then they have the luxury of time. I think that's totally how this is going to go. Obviously, look, I think Clint Kubiak has said it perfectly. He's an ascending, improving player that is doing exactly what they want. He is right now meeting expectations. I think this is all about Kirk, the offense, the team overall.
I think there's a nuance here. When you talk to people around the league, they are noting how Tom Brady, the owner, is managing the development of Fernando Mendoza.
How so?
Because when Tom Brady started, he was the fourth quarterback.
Right. And
he sat, and then obviously, improbably, things happen, and Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. But I understand what Lou and certainly Hawk is saying, but to me, it is clear they want Kirk Cousins to play this year, the way they paid him, the way they signed Tyler Linderbaum, and I think that's the right way to go. When you're dealing with Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Jim Harbaugh in your division, it is highly unlikely that the Raiders are going to be meaningfully competitive this year, so why not wait to at least Thanksgiving and go with the Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes sort of dynamic? Because to me, I'd rather make sure that, and there's no doubt that he'll know what to do, but I'd rather have Fernando Mendoza learn on the sidelines and not take some of those hits, and then when you put him out there, hopefully he'll be successful.
Yeah, I think this is one of these situations where you just got to play it by ear. You just got to see how it's going. You don't know how Fernando is going to continue to progress. You reasonably project that he's going to continue to digest this offense, absorb this offense, and continue to elevate his level. Look, I'll tell you this. If I was Clint Kubiak, if I was Tom Brady, if I was John Spytek, that first throw that he had to Malik Benson off of that play action pass, off of that play action against Arizona in the preseason, as soon as I saw that, I'd be like, oh boy, uh-oh. We may be looking at something here that's going to go a lot faster than we thought. I think you just have to kind of let this play out.
Well, they will play a preseason game, and you will see it. Week 2 of the preseason continues this week. We got marquee matchups Thursday and Friday.